Hey guys, welcome back. This is your host Phil from underKG.com, and here it is. The future is here, says Apple. This is the iPhone 10. They write it with the Roman numeral X, so you should read it as iPhone 10. But anyway, a lot of people read it as the X anyway, just like they happen with the OS 10. So this is the iPhone 10, one of the most highly anticipated phone of the year, I guess. And let's go ahead, unbox it. This is a pricey handset indeed. It starts from $999. That's a whopping $1,000 for a base storage of 64 gigabytes. If you want to go up to the 256 gigabytes, then you'll have to shell out $1,149, and that's without taxes. So that is certainly a lot of money for a cell phone. So here it is. It comes in two different colors, silver and space gray. This one being the space gray. So here's a little packet that says designed by Apple in California, made in China, obviously. And here is the iPhone 10 itself. We're gonna put it right there. And then to the rest of the packaging. It has a charger, that's a teeny tiny charger that comes with 5 amps of output. I mean, it's a really stingy choice to include a 5-watt charger in a $1,000 smartphone, but that's what Apple did. If you want the fast charging, which the iPhone 10 does support, then you'll have to shell out another $100-ish for a charger and the cable. Here is the pair of earphones, and it is the cable wired one, so this is not wireless AirPods. And then there is 3.5mm headphone jack if you want to use the old analog way. And then the lightning cable is right here. Moving on to the packet, it has the usual goodies here. It says konnichiwa. And there is a little SIM card tray removal pin. There is a SIM card slot, and then the stickers. 2 stickers are included that I don't know where to put to this day. And finally, we have the phone right here. Let's peel the plastic off. And this is the iPhone 10. This is a full display bezel-less smartphone with the AMOLED display covering almost all of the front facade except for that notch right there because it's got the cameras built in right there. We'll get into that just in a second. Let's power it on, and while it does that, let's go through the basics. On the rear, we got dual cameras like they have introduced it in the iPhone 7 Plus. It has 2 cameras that are even better than the one included in the iPhone 8 Plus. The telephoto lens is even brighter, and they of course support the portrait mode and the portrait lighting. And cooler thing is even front-facing camera supports the portrait mode and portrait lighting. Moving on to the left-hand side, we got the volume rocker right there along with the mute toggle key right there. And the lightning port is on the bottom as always. There's a speaker, and the front call speaker also works as a part of the dual stereo speaker system. Moving on to the right-hand side, we have an exceptionally large power key and the nano SIM card tray. Nothing on top. And of course, the back covered in glass, the glossy back covered in glass that supports wireless charging. We'll get into that just in a second. All right, now it's done booting up. Let's start by swiping up from the bottom. And right after that, it's going to ask you to register for a Face ID. It has a dot projector right there that emits 30,000 dots on your face, so it's going to read the contour of the face. And Apple claims it's a super safe unless it's a twin. So let's get started by registering a face. Continue. All right, the process seems pretty simple. Let's get started. I'm gonna put my face in there, move my head slowly to complete the circle. All right, that was easy. First scan is complete, and I'm gonna do it once again. Okay, that was done. And after all that settings, it teaches you how to use that navigation system. So it doesn't have a home button, so what you'll have to do is, it's got a little bar there. It works as a home button. This is a way that we have seen from the BlackBerry BOS 10, but Apple took it anyway. So whenever you're in an app, you can swipe from the bottom to go home. And when you have multiple apps and want to multitask, you can pull up and wait there, and then it's gonna let you multitask like you used to do in the previous iPhones. So this is the main launcher springboard of the iPhone, and it's got all the usual apps right there. And the notch right there is gonna tell you time in one side and signal bar on the other side. What you can do from left notch is to lock your screen to see notification, and then from right notch you can bring out the control center, which used to be pulled out from the bottom. Now, Apple claims it's a 5.8 inches of a display. When you want to compare it with the older, well, not exactly older, but the previous generation devices, here is the iPhone 8 Plus, which is noticeably larger than the iPhone 10. And if you want to compare with the smaller one out of the sibling, here we go with the iPhone 8. This is slightly larger than the iPhone 8, but it has noticeably larger display packed inside within that bezel. The basic internals are identical to one in iPhone 8 Plus. It's got Apple A11 Bionic chipset that's super fast and super powerful, 3GB of RAM and 64 or 256GB of your choice. And with that AMOLED display, it supports DCI-P3, HDR10, and Dolby Vision, and of course the True Tone display right there. When you turn it off, it's going to go back to the white balance, and when you turn it on, it's going to read the color balances and adjust to match that. The Face ID seems pretty fast and accurate. I just take a look at it and it just gets unlocked. All I have to do is swipe up to unlock the phone. As always, for the newer iPhones, it supports IP67 water and dust resistant, and the 2x zoom through that dual camera system, and they have the OIS built in, so it's gonna stabilize that 4K 60 frames per second of insane video that is capable to take. Although it's a relatively compact phone, Apple claims that it's going to give you twice as much as the battery life compared to the iPhone 7. And when you're even done with that, you can place it on top of any Qi standard charger, let it be Samsung or LG, and it's going to start charging wirelessly. And of course, Apple has their own ways called the AirPower. You can charge up to 3 Apple devices simultaneously on a single mat. We'll have to see how much that costs, but that is coming next year. There really are a whopping number of features that I have to take a look at. I don't even know what it packs yet. It looks really cool. It's like full display. Apple calls it Future. I kind of agree that it does look like Future itself, except for that noticeably harsh camera bump right there. It looks even sharper than the previous camera bumps. Anyway, we'll have to spend some time and get back with the review. In the meanwhile, if we find anything interesting that we want to share in between, we'll occasionally make some videos of that. Thank you always for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comment. This was the new, expensive, fancy iPhone 10. You can always meet us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. And we'll see you guys later. Whoop. Ciao.